But it's not just paying your rent that's an issue. Now you're having to pay in order to pay your rent with the advent of real estate agencies using apps for renters to pay their rental fees. Headline in the newspaper today said Australian tenants are being charged to pay their rent. These apps, one is called ALO. You pay the rent through this app rather than just having money deducted from your bank account. But just as when you use your card, you're charged a service fee, this app charges a service fee. One gentleman being charged $5.10 a month. Now, $5 a month probably doesn't sound much, but when you're scrimping for every dollar just to afford rent, electricity and food, it all adds up. And it's insult to injury when you're being stung for rent and then you have to pay the real estate agency in order to forward your rental fees. Tim, the renter, rather. I thought for a second that was his surname. He told the paper, I was annoyed at having to pay money for basically nothing, but I was afraid to say anything to the property manager. You don't want to risk being on one of their bucket lists blacklists for being a difficult tenant.
You're not doing well with the reading.
This is the problem with a shortage in housing, that if you've got a rental, you feel fortunate to have one in the first place. You dare not kick up a stink about the condition of the property or about the terms the real estate agent is applying to you, even charging you to pay your rent for fear that they'll come up with a reason to kick you out and you won't find a place.
Well, I would say to your landlord, James, and James often talks about how much he likes his landlord, he's a good guy, but I would recommend to him that he puts another zero on the end of James's weekly rent because given his reading abilities tonight, he won't even know you've done it. I'd be taking him to the cleaners. But, it's $5 extra to pay your rent, whatever. But every time you go to the cafe or the supermarket or whatever and you're getting charged a surcharge on your credit card, these surcharges very quickly add up. It's $5 here, 20 cents there, 50 cents there. Across a month, you could be paying nearly $100 in terms of these damn surcharges, right? And it made me think today, what would happen now if you tried to go to the shop front of your property manager and try to pay your rent in cash? Something tells me that a lot of places now would either look at you sideways and say, what the hell are you doing that for? Or they would simply refuse to take your money because everyone is expected to pay for everything online now. And it's all good and well to expect people to pay online, and I suspect a lot of landlords and property managers would expect you to pay online instead of via cash. But if that then comes with a surcharge, given that cash is still legal tender in this country, and we see this in shops where they now refuse to take cash, you should not be able to refuse that legal tender as far as I'm concerned. Why should I have to pay extra to use my own money? It's because the person you're giving the money to doesn't want to pay the surcharge themselves. But why should I have to pay that if there's a way I can avoid it, and that's cash, but I'm continually being told that I cannot use cash? I don't see how that is fair in any way.